Elon Musk and Twitter gearing up for a legal battle after Musk terminated his deal to buy the company. Twitter reportedly planning to sue Musk to make sure the deal goes through. The billionaire responding with some meme warfare, tweeting, quote, "They said I couldn't buy Twitter. Then they wouldn't disclose bot info. Now they want to force me to buy Twitter in court. Now they have to disclose bot info in court." Musk also taunting with this Chuck Norris meme, declaring it Chuckmate. That's awesome. I liked Musk. Jesse, I don't know why Twitter doesn't tell people how many bots there are. How can they get away with doing that? Imagine if Fox News declared their ratings and then, half of them were robots. We wouldn't get away with that.
Whoa, careful. You're treading on some very scary ground. No comment. I just want to take a moment to recognize how much the lawyers are going to get paid.
Yep.
This is what you dream about in law school.
Yep.
You have the richest man in the world suing or getting sued by a billion-dollar company, and he's erratic, and this could go on for years. The billing, just alone, I would frame it and put it in my office, and then I'd retire. I heard an interview with Elon, and he said while he was answering the question, he was also thinking about propulsion technology for his jet, at the same time a new algorithm for AI, while at the same time thinking about a new cobalt add-on to his electric car battery. Now, when I'm answering someone's question, I'm trying not to stutter. He's figuring out like massive mathematical equations. So do I have any idea what he's thinking with this thing? I have no idea. What I hope is he's trying to get the price down and ends up buying it for less money. And so he stops banning my people and rigging elections.
Yeah, isn't that what it is, Harold? In April, when he made the proposal, or when he offered to buy it, it was $54 a share. Now it's like 36 or something like that. Isn't that what it is? He bought it here, but he wants to buy it here.
Sounds like it. Look, without the benefit of discovery, we won't know a whole lot. Once we get through discovery, we'll have a great sense, and the judge will have a strong opinion on this. I think the question, I think, becomes is, what is the contract? We've heard people talk about it. We've heard each side say what was in the contract, and some believe that he was in, one was in a material breach, one believes they were not. And then two, is it binding? And Delaware courts are going to have their credibility is going to be on the line here, too, because this is a case that so many young people are going to watch. The longevity of certainty and reliability around what happens in those courts is going to be on trial in many ways. And I, for one, am going to be watching. I do know Twitter stock keeps dropping. The future viability of the company is at stake if that is the case. And from Musk's standpoint, if it is proven and discovery shows that these bots, they provided everything because they're saying they did, he's going to have a pretty hefty bill to pay.
Well, how about this analogy, Dana? When you buy a house, you make an offer, and then you start in with the contracts, and then you bring in the inspector. And when the inspector finds termites, then you say, I'm giving you less money or the deal's off. I mean, there's termites in Twitter, right?
You can't force the buyer to buy a termite-infested house.
Right. So how can
I don't know.
That?
That's a great question for the judge. I'll make just two quick points. For conservatives, Elon Musk is not coming to save you necessarily. Right, so be paying attention to the other ways to deal with this. And to the employees of Twitter, if Elon Musk can destroy your company just by starting rumors that he's going to buy your company, the company is probably not all that great to begin with.
Big time. Judge, rule. Give me the rule. Take him into your chambers. Who has the upper hand here?
I don't know who has the upper hand, but we've heard for a long time that Twitter has failed to respond to repeated requests for information about the number of bots. They say 5%. Elon Musk thinks it's more than that. In addition to that, apparently Twitter is taking action that they shouldn't be taking by firing people that they needed Elon Musk's consent to actually fire. In addition, Elon Musk relied to his detriment on their promise that there were only 5% of the company was bots. So I'm not saying that Twitter, I'm not thinking they're in a really strong position. So then the question is, people are saying, well, Elon Musk can go to jail. Well, someone said that on one of the business channels today. They're saying contempt of court if he doesn't follow the judge's call. But then the question is a bigger issue, and that is, can they be forced to actually make Elon Musk buy the company if he doesn't want to? So what's going to happen here is there's going to be a negotiation. Elon Musk, I think, in the end, is going to end up buying it unless he's lost interest in it, and he's going to buy it for a lot less than what he offered.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.